Up next on Lion TV, Kat Bremen puts a spotlight on the director for the fall play, and Dalton Pinkerton gives us some more information on the new phone policy.
And me, Aiden Hughes, to see if this week's rain will affect your plans. All that and more, Lion TV starts now.
Happy Friday, Cersei High. My name is Bo Bramlett.
And I'm Azariah Ployd. I hope everybody's had an amazing week. Now let's get to the show.
October 21st is Makeup Picture Day. If you did not already get your pictures, please try your hardest to come that day.
Students, bring your ID card with you every day to school for the bus and to get around campus.
Upon turning 16 years of age, students are required to get their second meningitis vaccine.
The deadline to sign up and payment for the 9th grade pre-ACT is October 3rd. A new law was passed in Arkansas making it illegal to use your phone during school hours.
Dalton Pinkerton has a story on the new phone rule.
It has been a few weeks since school started, and with the new no phone rules, everything has changed, maybe for the best or maybe not.
I think it's a good policy. I believe it's really helping students communicate with each other in a way that they probably are not used to. And I think that's a good thing.
It actually hasn't been as bad as I thought it was going to be, because I don't mind not being on my phone in class, but a lot of the students don't agree with that.
With the new no phone rule, students must change how they go through the day and how they act with one another.
There's been a lot more talking than there was last year, because last year, kids would always be on their phones in class, but now they're kind of like forced to talk to each other.
It's a lot easier to get conversations started. There's a lot less of me having to look around to see if they're sneaking a cell phone out, because I know that most of them are put up. And so it's a lot easier just as far as classroom management and policies, just general day-to-day flow of the classroom.
Even with the no phone rule, it also could change how the teachers communicate with each other.
I think the new phone policy is going above and beyond our expectations. It seems like this school year has started off a lot more calm. There's not as much drama with students. Teachers have also had to get used to it as well. It seems odd for us to not have our phones on us.
Hallways have been more lively, with people talking to each other, and even with teachers.
You know, that was a time when students would pull out their phones and have ear pods in, and then when you get into class, then you'd have to try to regroup everyone and say, make sure your phones are away, and students would, try to be sneaky about it in class. And I think with the new policy that we're all on the same page, and it's going very well.
Even without our phones, we still can have a great day. That'll be all, Cersei. Back to you at News Desk.
Not having our phones is a great way to help us focus during school.
That was an interesting story. Now let's get into the news. The Baxter County Sheriff's Office confirmed on Wednesday that a body found in Lake Norfolk is that of a missing man. The body was recovered from the lake the morning of September 17th. Investigators identified the person as 49-year-old Glenn Bradley, who was reported missing on September 15th after receiving the report that Baxter County Sheriff's Office sent a boat to search for the area. However, they were unsuccessful. His body is now being sent for an autopsy.
Pakistan and Saudi Arabia on Wednesday signed a defense pact pledging that if either of the nations were attacked, it would be considered an attack on both. This comes after rising tensions in the region following the September 9th Israeli airstrike targeting Hamas killed 6 people.
The trial for a man in Garfield, Arkansas, was accused of drunk driving and killing the 14-year-old teen Gavin Bivens, who was riding his motorbike at the time. A jury found 47-year-old Gregory Payne guilty of a hit and run, driving on an invalid license, and driving while intoxicated on the 16th. He was sentenced to 15 years in prison in order to pay a $1,000 fine.
Say, Bo, hasn't it felt hot this week?
It has, Azariah. Let's send it over to Aiden Hughes for this week's weather.
Good morning, Cersei High. I'm Aiden Hughes, and now on to the weather. Today we will have a high of 89. It'll be cloudy with a 24% chance of rain. Winds blowing 5 miles per hour west with a humidity of 62, and your sun rose at 6:53 in the morning. On to tonight. Tonight we will have a low of 66, raining at a 15% chance. It'll be partly cloudy. The winds are blowing west at 4 miles per hour, humidity at 87%, and your sun will set at 7:07 p.m. The last 7 days average has had a high of 97 and a low of 65. Your monthly average precipitation has been 3.83, and your month to date has been 1.46 inches. On at the 5cast. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 89, low of 68, 24% chance of rain. Sunday, mostly cloudy, 86 high, 67 low, 24% chance of rain. Monday, AM showers, 84 degrees high, 66 low, 34% chance of rain. Tuesday, isolated thunderstorms, 85 degrees high, 63 degrees low, 30% chance of rain. And Wednesday will be partly cloudy with a high of 84, a low of 62, and a 24% chance of rain. A lot of rain out there. Make sure to grab an umbrella. Back to y'all at the news desk.
All this weather talk has been making me hungry. Say, what's for lunch this week, Bo?
Today for lunch we'll be having home-style meatloaf, classic cheese pizza, seasoned beef taco meat, classic cheeseburger, popcorn chicken salad, strawberry mango, and frozen sidekicks and milk.
That sounds great, Bo.
Say Azariah, I've been wondering about the fall play.
Well, good thing Kat has someone with the fall play to give us more information.
Welcome back to a new episode of Lion Week, and today we have a very special guest here today, Dixie Henry. So Dixie, what's the core message or theme of the C.S. Lewis story that you and the audience want to take away from the particular production?
In my opinion, especially with it being a one act, it's more of no matter what you're feeling or no matter if you're scared, you should always want to try to be brave and bring that courage to others if they can't do it themselves.
Was there a specific stage, audition, or something that influenced your vision for this play?
Mainly, we didn't want to go off the movies. The movies change the story a lot, make them older than they actually are. We really wanted to stick with the exact book, but there's a musical in London that I've been looking at, and that's been pulling me ideas into certain costumes and certain things we want to do.
Alright, and how did you work with the actors to help them develop their characters, especially in developing from the book or the film versions?
I really wanted them to create the characters themselves of what they read when they were in first, second, third, fourth, somewhere around there matters who they are. But I wanted them to pull out characterization because I enjoyed that, and it's just I had help from college people to help me figure out what I wanted to do.
And what qualities are you looking for when you were casting the 4 children?
Height was a big one for me because I did not want, Lucy's a 6-year-old little kid. I didn't want her to be taller than her older brother that's like 14, 15. So that was a big thing. And then just like their little bits and pieces. Edmund is more defiant and he goes against what his siblings say a lot. And Peter's the more fatherly figure and Susan's the motherly.
And finally, what do you think about your cast and crew?
I love my cast and crew. Even if we all don't agree sometimes, we work through it to make sure it's all seamless. Communication with them is sometimes hard, but we've learned to use different things to communicate.
Well, thank you, Dixie. Well, Cersei, that's all the time left in this week's Lion Week. I'm Kat Berman, seeing back to our anchors at the news desk.
Thanks, Kat, for that great info about the fall play.
And make sure to check out the fall play when it happens in November.
Say Azariah, what has been happening in sports lately?
Great question, Bo. Let's hand it over to Reagan Tyler for our latest sports news.
Good morning, Cersei. Hi, I'm Reagan Tyler. Hope y'all had a great week so far. Now let's jump into those sports updates. Our Lady Lions volleyball team took on the Batesville Pioneers Tuesday night, where the Lions would fall short, ending the game with a set score of 1-3, giving Batesville the win. This brings the Lions conference to 1-3. Yesterday, the team had a conference matchup against the Mountain Home Bombers, and we will have scores for you on the next show. Our Lions football team is currently on a bye week, and their next game will be Friday at home against Whitehall. Our Lions tennis team took on Paragould and Greene County Tech yesterday, and we will have scores for y'all in next week's show. Moving on to national sports, former Los Angeles Chargers star Sean Merriman put naysayers on notice after the team walloped the Las Vegas Raiders on Monday night, 20-9, to move to 2-0 on their season. Merriman told Fox News Digital in a recent interview that the all-around performance from the team showed that they are true contenders for the conference title. The first season, Herbert, who had 242 passing yards and 2 passing touchdowns against the Raiders, had the same offensive coordinator in 2021 and 2022. With Joe Lombardi, Brandon Staley was the head coach. With Harbaugh as the head coach, he kept Greg Roman on as the offensive coordinator from last season to this season. Merriman also touted how the entire team had been built and that they no longer have to rely on Herbert trying to make all the plays to win a game. The Kansas City Chiefs have been cream of the crop in the AFC West for the last 9 years, but going into Week 3, they find themselves 0-2 to start the year. Merriman noted that the Chiefs can no longer rely on Patrick Mahomes to do everything for them, and will have to address the holes in their team and their aging stars. The New York Jets have made the first big headline of the day, with quarterback Justin Fields being ruled out with a concussion for Sunday's game at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Fields suffered the concussion in Week 2, lost to the Bills. The Jets are just one of several teams navigating injuries to their starting quarterback. The Washington Commanders are being cautious with Jaden Daniels and his sprained knee, which he suffered in a loss last week to the Green Bay Packers. Daniels didn't practice Wednesday, and head coach Dan Quinn said the team will have an update after today's practice. That's all the sports news I have for you today, Cersei. Now back to the news desk.
Thanks, Reagan, for the latest sports news.
Well, that's all the time we have for you today, Cersei. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Cersei High Lion TV.
And follow us on X at Lion TV, Instagram at Cersei Lion TV, and at Facebook at Cersei High Lion TV. Signing off, I'm Bo Bramlett.
And I'm Ezra Ployd. See you next week, Cersei.